time, the Department of Homeland Security is billions of dollars short to get through the end of this fiscal year, largely because of their efforts along the border. So they have already had to move around $1 billion within the agency. They're planning to go to Congress and asking for another $2 billion to get through the end of September. And of course, this comes as Republicans are being very aggressive in their attacks against DHS Secretary Mayorkas, and as the border issue continues to be a top target for Republicans, and still the Biden administration is willing to go to Congress and say, hey, we need a lot more money. And it's just another indication of just how desperate they are for those funds, for those resources, and how the changes at the border have really required a lot more of the federal government than anyone expected when the budget was initially being set.
Koresh, what's your sense of what the White House can get done if it doesn't get help, more help from Congress? Do they sort of branch out on their own, or are there some other avenues that they can follow?
Well, I think we've seen from the Biden administration an effort to try to create more orderly legal pathways. They introduced humanitarian parole programs for some coming from Central America, Cuba, Haiti, Venezuela. But the reality is that if we are talking about addressing the southern border, we have to realize that we are seeing a substantial increase in those coming from India, China. There were about 20,000 Ukrainians who came before the Uniting for Ukraine program was launched. And so for us to have a program that responds not just to our needs in terms of humanitarian leadership, but even to national security in terms of being a partner to Europe in responding to the Ukrainian refugee crisis, it's going to require not just the White House to act, but Congress as well.
So, I want to follow up with you, Steph. A federal judge this week blocked a Biden administration policy that bars most migrants, from applying for asylum if they cross illegally. Where does the ruling stand, and what does it mean for those seeking asylum right now?
So at this moment, the ruling has stayed for a little less than 2 weeks now. At this point, the Biden administration has asked for an emergency stay to enable them to keep that policy in place while this makes its way through the court. So as of this exact moment, that policy is still in effect, but we could see the end of that policy in the near future. And of course, I've spoken to some members of Congress who represent districts along the border, and also we've heard from the Biden administration themselves that there are concerns that seeing this policy, this restrictive policy go away could lead to another uptick in the number of people attempting to cross the border illegally, which is obviously something we will be looking at very closely. And one of the reasons why the administration is saying, hey, we can go through this in court, please let us keep this for now, especially given the fact that they have finally seen the numbers start to decline and the numbers are now at a more manageable place for border officials. So this could be a huge ruling, depending on how this plays out. But I would note, of course, that migration is complicated, and you never know exactly how change in policies will change those trends at the border.